Hey everybody, this is Dream, and today I'm going to be reviewing Wonderblade. Wonderblade is developed by Shenyang Puppet Depot and published by East to West Games. Wonderblade is available on Xbox for $14.99. This game came out on 12/3/2020. So Wonderblade is a side-scrolling beat-em-up adventure game, and your goal in this game is to level up and save the princess in the world, all before breakfast. So some of the pros in the game is that the characters are very cartoony and they have a silly backdrop to the game, and they have a silly storyline which will have you laughing and chuckling at the silliness. Especially if you're fighting enemies while you're on the back of a pig or on another animal, or running from enemies on the back of a pig or another animal. It's just overall just like silly fun. I mean, it's just a funny game. It doesn't take itself too seriously from that perspective. As for the combat, it is a side-scrolling, and so it does work as side-scrolling type games work. And um, I don't know if it's intentional or not, but you can constantly hit an enemy if you get them stuck in a corner, basically forever, to max out your combo meter if you're so inclined. I do think that's probably an issue that needs to be fixed, but it is like sort of funny to have like 5 or 6 enemies getting hit constantly, just jumping up, falling up into the air and down repeatedly, making funny noises. Um, the pickups and coins in the game drop a lot, and so that's nice, as you can use the coins to buy items at certain points. It would be nice to add an auto picker thing, at least, or in the game, but overall it's it's a pretty decent system that works for what it is. You also randomly will pick up swords and other types of things, and there's quite a good assortment of different types of swords and stuff that you'll get as you progress through the game. So that leads to a lot of different possibilities with the gameplay. And as you level up, you do get new abilities and things of that nature as well. Alright, so here's one of my major issues with the game, is that the sound in the game is turned up to 1,000,000 points, I think, and there's no volume meter, and so I basically had to turn my headphones to 0 just to play without my ears falling off. I do tend to play with headphones on because I like that better, and this game is virtually impossible to do that way. So I ended up having to, just to hear the sound, I had to turn up my TV some so I could hear it that way. But the sound is fine in the game if it wasn't so extremely high. I mean, I had my TV on like volume like 3, and it sounded like it was in the could have been in another room, and I would still hear it. I don't know if that's something that they can fix or whatever, but it's a major issue, I think, in a game like this, especially without having a volume meter. Anyway, also the difficulty in the game seems very unbalanced. It seems some boss fights took a long time, and some boss fights almost took no effort at all. And it didn't seem, despite me using the same weapons, and there just wasn't any consistency from that perspective. And some enemies, there's some imbalancing too. It seems like some enemies, even the same type of enemy, I would notice that there was differences. And maybe that's a good thing, but it just wasn't very consistent in like that thing. I will say though that like the hit detection and stuff is really top notch in this. It works very well. Um, it also does sort of look like a mobile game as well, which upon some further research, I actually found that it is a mobile game as well. And so that just kind of, it does have that feel to it, which to me is kind of a negative. Maybe it's not negative to everybody, but it is kind of to me. Overall, I do like the game okay. I think it's fun and short, in short doses and things. But I'm going to give the game a 6.5 out of 10. I think the price is a little high for what it is. It is $15, which isn't ridiculous, but like, I could see a game like this $5 or $10, would be a lot more reasonable. And the sound problems just really irritate me, and the game does need a lot of balancing. So, as for the achievements, the list isn't too difficult, but it's not quick either, and it will take about time. And I don't really feel like the list is something that's worth bragging about, because a lot of the achievements are tied to beating bosses by not doing it in cool ways, like not using special abilities and things of that nature. And I feel like that kind of takes away from what the game is trying to be. So I think the achievements don't really fit what they should have based on what the game is. The achievement should have been tied to, beating the bosses in the most extravagant ways possible, not dumbing it down and just standing there and using a square attack 1,000 times in order to knock a boss out. That's pretty much all I have to say on this game. Overall, it's not the worst game by any stretch of imagination, but I feel like there's a lot of places that could have been improved. But it's okay. It's an okay game. I mean, if you just want something that's silly and you don't have to think too hard on, then it's definitely not a bad thing to pick up. If you do like hack and slash kind of games, then you'll probably like it okay. It plays well. It's just there's little issues that could, seems like things that could be easily corrected. But that's pretty much all I have to say about it. So, thanks for liking, commenting, and subscribing, and let us know what you think about the game if you pick it up. Have a nice day, everybody.
The prisoner overpowered me.
No alarms have been reported yet. There's no sign of Jones.
That's because I'm still here.
I'm gonna go AWOL. I'm gonna go underground.
It's good. I gotta ask you a question though. Did it hurt to do something moral for once, Tess? Did it hurt you?
I'm taking a chance just being out here with you in the open.
Yeah, okay, I understand that. Okay, we've gotten that far. What is it that you want? You're asking me for something. What is it you want? What do you want?
Forgive me, Oliver. Oliver, I need your help.
There are times when I wish I could go back. Those Santorini sunsets, and your freckles, and